I don't know how many times I'm going to have to bleep this video for YouTube.
Oh. Good morning, Rye Guy here. It is a certain day, I can't actually remember, so I'm going to put the date up in the top right-hand corner here. We are out in Windsor area. Right now, this is the road on Ponic Lake. Off to the right-hand side there, the smoke kind of caught my eye. However, it is not smoke, it's actually steam. That's part of Municipal Dexter's, who is a great big construction company out here. I actually used to work for those guys for a little bit. It's a aggregate plant, I believe. I'm not quite sure if they're making asphalt or rocks there. I have no idea. Anyway, that's just an aggregate plant, so that was just steam. We're out here with a couple side-by-sides, an RMAX, a couple RMAXs actually, Cody CF Moto. Yeah, I'm running my 2019 Grizzly EPS, and we got a newcomer to the sport with us on this run, and he's on a Polaris 500, I believe, if I recall. That's what it was. Anyway. I was a little bit surprised to see the amount of water on the trail, but yes and no, I guess, because it's been, so far, it's been one of those winters where it's been cold, then it would snow, then it freezes, then it warms up and thaws, then you get water everywhere, and then it freezes solid again, so then there's ice. That's just typical Nova Scotian winter right now. I was looking at that little bucket on the side of the trail that had used engine oil in it. Pick up your crap. If you got to do an oil change out in the field like that, and you obviously had the means and ways to carry that bucket out there, pick up your crap. Nobody wants to see that in the woods. You're just littering, and plus it's bad for the environment because you're just leaving used motor oil out just to get rained on and then flood over. This morning, I guess, in this video, it was probably about -4 Celsius, so it wasn't terrible cold. It did warm up in the day like it typically does when the sun comes out for a bit, but then it got cold again. This run, I think Cody had something else planned, but it didn't turn out that way. We were just out for the day, really. I mean, I drove from my place, I drove an hour just to meet up with the guys here, just to get out for the day. I haven't been out for a couple weeks, and it's just nice to get out and spend some time in the woods, spend some time with some buds, and yeah, go for a nice little rip. That RMAX that you see up ahead of me belongs to Fred. Anyway, he let me do a review on that, and if you haven't seen that on my channel, you can, I'll put it in the description below. You can just click on the link and then go to see that. But really nice machine. It's a base machine, but he's got some upgrades done to it. One of the main upgrades done is the D-mode drive switch, which helps quite a bit. Not so much the sport mode. I don't really think I'd need, if I ever had an RMAX, I don't think I'd need the sport mode. Where it really comes in handy is the crawl mode. Wasn't really necessary to put it in 4-low for that at all, but it's good to exercise on the bike. And I had a comment one time a while ago to a guy who was almost angry in the comments actually about how I should stop and put the ATV in neutral and then put it into four-wheel. You don't need to do that. Maybe you do with other models, with the Yamahas that I have experience with. There, I'm going to do it again. I just put it in four-wheel drive. If your front wheels are traveling at the same speed as your back wheels, and you don't have excess pressure on your transmission, it is completely fine to switch to two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive on the fly. I wouldn't suggest doing that with diff lock, but if you're just going 2 to 4 or 4 to 2, it really doesn't matter that much. My Dodge truck has a manual transfer case, and I do that as well. Mind you, I don't do it at highway speeds, but you get the point.
Oh, chilly. Nothing wrong, little carbon on your skin. Hello.
This little climb section here comes out in the back of somebody's property. I'm pretty sure it's not ground land because there's just not enough space for it. It just comes out on somebody's property. And, you know, I'd like to thank whoever owns that property to keep that trail open. It really takes 1% out of the 99% of people out there to ruin it for the rest of us. You know, somebody ripping through this little trail right here, or, you know, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, just, there's no need of it. Take your time, go slow, keep the noise levels down. I really liked this section when I was recording. The camera really does no justice about how pretty the woods are a lot of times when you're running. The light coming through the tall pine trees, the jack pine trees like that, it's really nice. It's almost like a little bit of a strobe effect, so if you're epileptic or something like that, you might end up on your head, but anyway, it was a really nice day. It turned out cloudy, and then it was nice and sunny for the rest of the day. So. Now, Cody up ahead has a new set of tires on his. He wasn't expecting that to be that deep, and his tire was up in the air there a little bit, kind of crashed on that driver's side corner. 30-inch, I believe, cryptids, ITP cryptids, that was taken. He bought it from another guy who had the cryptids on a Can-Am or something like that. Anyway, big chunky tire. Does quite well once you're up to speed. When you're slowing down, I can see it would be really harsh. By that river, when we were taking a break, we saw a white Toyota Tacoma, I think it was, go up this little hill here into the power line. It's, again, the camera does these trails or the video really no justice. It's you can't really tell how steep something is, how deep a water hole is, how bright or how dark it is. And of course, you upload things to YouTube and it just compresses the little bejesus out of it. But anyway, pretty impressive it made it up because it was kind of soft in spots. Rutted out in the center as well.
Not quite sure what way they turned. They might have went that way. What's that?
Those things are pretty big when you're close.
Yeah, yeah. Well, wait till we get right underneath one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think they turned up that way.
These windmills always impress me. No matter how many times you go and see them in person, they are just massive. You know, they got bolts holding them at the base on this concrete pad that are bigger than your head. And the base is just massive. You look up and you can actually see that thing swaying a little bit in the breeze, but they're meant to move a little bit, but unreal. And the sound that comes out of them. So Nova Scotia is a very windy province because we're a peninsula almost off the east coast of Canada. And there's a lot of windmills because, you know, you're just surrounded by coastline. So there's quite a bit of windmills. Let's see how bright it was trying to navigate this road here. I didn't even know if the camera was picking this up because it was so bright. That's how it was hard to see.
Hole on the sidewall, is that what they said? Yeah.
Yeah, I smoked a rock coming down that hill right there.
Oh, I can see on your rim.
Yeah.
Yeah. You pinched it.
Gave her a good one, too.
It did. It hit hard, too.
Well, a bunch of plugs might get you home.
Might get us home,
Yeah.
Yeah. They're cold. You want them warmed up?
Because I'm afraid to ask what you're going to do to warm it up.
Well, just... I was going to say exhaust, but you know what? I guess he thinks different than we do.
There we go.
It ain't pretty, but...
Jesus
Christ.
Just came across these guys randomly on the trail, and buddy up ahead in CF Moto just smoked a rock, and it pinched flat at the tire, so it was actually cut in two different spots and bent the rim a little bit. Anyway, about 15 tire plugs got him going. Luckily between us all, we had enough tire plugs there. Those guys there who were pulled over had none. No compressor, no tire plug, or anything like that. So, you know, pays to be prepared, even if it's one of those cheap little tire plug kits you get from Canadian Tire, Princess Auto, or, I don't know, in the States, you guys get Tractor Supply, but just those little tire strips.
I'm cold. Time for a fire.
Now we thought we were more protected from the wind than what we are, but just these little openings right here and on to the right of me, or behind me right now, it's just, the wind was just whipping through there. And you can hear it in the camera when I turn around.
Set of BF Goodrich 32s, not RMAX.
We ended up moving the fire pit over closer to the wood line.
She blew everything up.
Chewed all the teeth out in the shaft and the basket and everything.
Oh my. Whole new clutch.
Yep.
Nice little fire to warm up and eat some lunch. We didn't make it too far, and we were making another stop in here. I don't know who owns this cabin. It was locked up pretty tight. You'll see it in the camera here in a minute. It looks like it maybe used to be open at one point, but of course, again, it takes the 1% of 99% of the people out there to ruin the rest of us. Ruin experiences for the rest of us in the woods like this, because it had padlocks, it had welded hinges, it had, you know, metal plates over the windows. It was just in all metal sides, metal roof. Yeah, it was locked up tight.
Yeah.
They had to lock it all up so that everybody doesn't beat the wind out of it.
Yeah. Well.
You know what? This right here, this is where this happens. Just been whipping in between trees and so much nicer than having to worry about carrying the mirrors off. All Although I do like these stokers.
Yeah, I was gonna say actually they look pretty strong.
They were like $100 in the convex too, so you can actually see pretty good of them. I fucking had trees that round, hammer them and drag all the way up and never put a pin mark on them.
Yeah, tusk. Yeah.
Yeah, $109.
I left this clip in here because it's pretty neat to see the articulation on the backside of that RMAX. Those things are crawlers. The shock bodies look like they can hold a lot more lift. Like there's so much travel in these RMAXs that you think it'd have just a little bit more ground clearance, even though it's almost at 14 inches. I'm sure the aftermarket's going to be huge for these things. But very well set up machine.
Keeps me going. Yes, sir. That they do.
Well, it's a Fox.
Just what cap on it, that's all.
After many failed attempts of starting a fire,
Stand back.
a nice 1300-degree road flare will get her going.
That's because it's supposed to be a rescue here when you're lost in the middle of the ocean.
And all of a sudden it's dark. We ended up staying there for an hour, maybe over an hour. And that wasn't really in the plan, but it was nice just to have a chit-chat out in the woods, by a lake, by a fire. You can see how dusty the roads were. It made no sense to run my spotlights, rigid spotlights, in dust like that. But man, those spotlights, unbelievable amount of light output. Like the camera doesn't pick it up, but it just lights up in front of you. It's pretty neat though. Like that's why, you know, that dust reflective that you saw in that last clip. That's why the guys who do the Baja 1000 run massive yellow or amber light covers or lights themselves, because it cuts through the dust and the fog and all that kind of stuff way better than those bright white 5,000 Kelvin LEDs. This was a nice little rough section. I just left the whole clip in because it was a nice slow crawling section at night. Pretty neat. The new fella up ahead of me there, this was his like first or second time out ever on an ATV, so he did very, very well. I've been on the trail where there's what I like to call straight line drivers. Just they don't pick any line, they just go over whatever's in front of them and they smash and bang and cause accidents, just all bad. But he picked up the concept just like that and did very, very well. So I think he'll be an alright rider. Kept looking back to see if Cody was behind me or Lazy Days, but he just wasn't. I guess he's just taking his time going through there. That CF Moto 1000, even with those 30-inch cryptids, which run pretty short, by the way. If you're going to buy a set of cryptids, they do run very short. They're probably only at about 28, 29, with a very tall shoulder lug. So, if you're going for a set of 30s, get a set of 31s or 32s.
I think we did. Cody can see what way we went up anyway, so.
I have to get too. I just gotta get my phone out if so.
You navigated that stuff pretty good, so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I know, I got there and I was like, what the hell? We haven't done this yet today, so. Yeah, Cody's coming down.
Good for a first time out.
Yep.
Does mine smell weird or is that just me?
It's just mud on the exhaust.
Yeah?
Yeah. What in the heck is that? Yeah, alright, that's a little ominous looking.
So, what I later found out, I was going to ask in the comments what that thing was. That is a SODAR. So it is a sonic ranging device for measuring wind pressure, wind speed. It works along the same lines as a submarine's sonar system. However, this is in conjunction for gathering data for the windmills that we saw earlier, called a SODAR. Anyway, I appreciate your likes, your comments, your views. We're just going to leave the video here because it's dirt roads all the way home. So thank you for joining me on this run. My name is RawGuy8888. So we'll see you guys on the next run. Have a Merry Christmas. RawGuy out.